California bill would classify not affirming child's transgenderism as, quote, child abuse. AB 957 was introduced into the California legislature by Assemblymember Lori Wilson and State Senator Scott Wiener, both Democrats. If the name Scott Wiener sounds familiar, it's because he's made headlines before. Quote, California Democrat who pushed easing sex offender requirements for sodomy with minors suggests adding Drag Queen 101 to school curriculums. This has wide-ranging implications from parental rights and custody to how schools and government entities interact with kids. It is enshrining the entire concept of transgenderism into law in California. Our friend from Dr. Phil did a great job explaining the problem here.
We've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely different.
They are completely different.
Completely different words.
And sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up.
That's exactly what California is doing here as well. They are just making it up. They are circumventing the debate and public discussion process and just saying this is law. If you go against it, it's child abuse, so shut your mouth. I actually came across this post from a detransitioner today, somebody who identified as transgender, got the surgeries, realized it was a huge mistake, and then detransitioned back to their original sex. And look, this is hard to read, but it's important that we understand what's going on across this entire country, the path that bills like AB 957 put people on, and what it means to really accept transgenderism as a concept. And again, warning, this is hard to listen to, it's hard for me to read, but I think it's important that we realize what's going on here. Daniel writes, my life changed in 2019 when my doctors told me that the best way to go is to get my genitals operated. They created a, quote, neovagina, end quote, and removed my testicles. The whole experience was horrible and exhausting. I was not able to finish school and my mental state went from bad to worse. I don't recommend undergoing this surgery to anyone. It's mutilation. Men will never be women. Women will never be men. I lost almost all of my libido. Being able to orgasm is almost impossible now. Having sex with men is possible, but it's painful and I was bleeding every time after that. Sensation almost went away. Is this what you want kids to go through? Is this the help they really need? You need to be insane to believe, quote, bottom surgeries, end quote, are good for patients. If you hate your genitals, try to find help. Don't go through nonsense procedures to end up with mutilated, quote-unquote, something between your legs. So that's what people mean when they say gender-affirming care. It's not just being nice and using pronouns, it's leading people down a path of surgeries and drugs and lifelong medication and deep regret for irreversible procedures. Now, we actually got a bit of good news today. The Washington Examiner reports, quote, UK National Health Service bans puberty blockers for gender transitions for minors. And indeed, we're seeing a number of countries do this. Unfortunately, not the United States. The US and Canada seem to be going in the opposite direction, going more down the hole of transitioning children socially, medically, surgically, etc. But we're starting to see some results. And look, this is one of the most important fights we can be having right now. We're talking about the mutilation and drugging of children. When they grow up, they're going to ask us what we did to prevent this, and we better have a good answer. So keep fighting the fight. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to catch more content. Got a bunch more coming for you. My name's Ryan. This is NewsRye. I'll see you in the next one.